Osaekomi. This is an Osaekomi Waza. Osaekomi means to pin or to immobilize. And Osaekomi means to apply the pin. And Waza means technique. So you're applying a pinning technique. Remember when you're doing side control, key thing here is to, like I said, control the head, and I want to make sure that my arm goes over his shoulder and under the neck and control here. We have some newer guys on the mat tonight, so let's work on some good solid basics. They're good for you. All right, let's work on a series of pins. You get side control, okay? And we're going to work on from side control, that kind of control here and control his hips. We're going to cover this momentarily. We're going to work on chest hold, munegatami, chest hold. Mune means chest, gatami means to hold down. And we're going to work on yoko shihogatami, side four-corner hold, okay? So real quick, in judo theory, and this is really good stuff too, guys, you have four corners of the body, you have two shoulders and two hips. And you want to control as many of those points as you can. You know, when you're holding people to the ground, no matter whether it's a hold down for time or, you know, any type of hold down, you know, for arm lock or whatever you want to do. You want to control as many of those points as you can. And so when you talk about yoko, shiho, side, four corner hold, that's what they mean. These are the four corners of the body. Okay? So if you understand that, you're going to have a better, you know, skill at doing this stuff. Okay. Notice we're also quickly, new guys, Eric's been around a while, okay? He knows when he's working on the ground or on the mat, he's on his back, his knees are up, his feet are flat against the mat, so he can bridge and turn. You know, he's not laying there like you get knocked out, you know, he's not laying there like that, okay?
He'd like to.
You know, so start always, if you're on the bottom, always start so you're in a position that you can move, okay? And see how you can move and shift his hips and stuff. These are skills you need to do, but this starting position for him is important too, all right? So let's look at what we're going to do. Now, how I got him down, I can turn him over, I can break him down. I got him on his back in some way, all right? I want to control the side of his body. I want to control the side here. All right, so let's work on controlling that side, okay? I want to make sure that my hips are as low to the mat as possible and my knees are as wide as possible at this point. And when you see this from behind here, I'm almost like sitting like this, really like this. Don't be up on your toes yet. You can do that later. But right now, be quite low, because I want to get as low as I can to the mat. Okay, so my knee's low. Now, I'm starting to manipulate him. I want to get this. I want to get my knee under his shoulder if I can, because that's really the ideal position. Okay, so my left knee is under his right shoulder, and now even if I don't come over and control, I'm in a better position down here, so I'm kind of trapping. Okay, so I'm very low. Now, what I want to do with this, again, knees are quite low here. Okay, if he turns into me, I want to be able to be in a position where I can stop him with my hand. So Sandy might want to come around the side here. We do this from time to time when we work on it. Come around here. So I might want to do what's called a hand check or hip check. So if he turns into me, I'll stop him here like this. See how I'm stopping him? You see how I'm rolling. Can everybody see what I'm doing here? So if he turns into, like he shrimps into me, I can stop him here. So I want to put the brakes on that so he can't come back out. When he turns into me, bam, I can stop him here, and even momentarily I can come back over and control him. But I've got to be able to control his hips. I'm controlling his hips without even touching him, actually. Okay? To some degree. And that's an important thing when you have side control of somebody. I have to be really well balanced. The better balanced I am, the longer I'm going to hold him down and control his body. That's the point of this. That's the point of Osaekomi. Okay. So we're here. Okay, come under. Let's work on a specific move. All right. Under here, underhook the head, and don't let his head touch the mat. If he bridges and rolls, he can maybe get out of this bridge and turn into me. I don't want him to use his head as a post to bridge, so I'm going to take that away from him, and I'm going to take it here, my elbow. I like to touch my elbow to my knee, but I'm tall, so that might be advantageous for you, but it works for me. Okay, now this hand, I'm just going to grab the gi in this area here, or an armpit, okay, like that. You can grab the lapel, but just grab what you can quickly. All right, now I've got a pretty good hold here, okay? So if he starts turning into me, I can just hand check him and keep him from moving there, but I'm going to kind of stop that in its tracks to begin with. So from here, I've got this grip here. With this hand, I'm going to swim under and just trap here. And now I can start to grab this way. I can post my hand to hold, which is a good post. It's a good stable base. If he starts to move, and I can just keep staying with him. See how I'm controlling his upper two shoulders? Okay. Now my knee here is going to be controlling also his lower two, you know, his upper two shoulders, upper 2 points and shoulders. I can also bring my knee up here to stop him like this if I need to. And, you know, just don't let him hook your leg. You know, but here's like this is a variation of a, you know, knee on belly here, ukigatami. But I'm just holding him here if I need to. But from here, I'm just going to hold here, or ride him up here, lock him in here like this, stay nice and high. Every time he moves, I move with him. Okay? He might move back, so when he moves, just move. I just stay with him. Just stay with him. Now, you might flatten out. Okay? If you want to flatten out, get your legs nice and wide, dig your toes in the mat, hips on the mat. Okay? See how I got a wide base here. I might sit through like this. There are other ways you can do it too. But you're holding them continually here like this. Constantly squeeze the air out of it. Make it really uncomfortable. Okay, shift back. What you need to do, flatten out. So, you know, be good at your positioning your legs. From your knees, flatten out, bring them back up, sit through, all kinds of stuff. But you can do that. Let's start with Monogatami. This will win a lot of matches. I was just looking at some old videos of Anton Gasing. The old timers will remember him. He was one of the greats of judo. He won the '64 Olympic Games in the open weight. He was a great big guy, but his judo was superb. He won the Olympics with this hold, with what would be later called Monogatami. They didn't actually call it Monogatami back in '64. They didn't even have a name for this pin, but people used it. And he sure used it to beat Kaminaga at the final, the Olympics in '64. So it's very basic, but it's very, very, very efficient. Great move. So let's work on the basics of Monogatami. Then we're going to come down and we're going to finish out with Yoko Shihokutami, the side full corner hold. Got it? Okay. Give it. Okay. So we've been working from side control, and we just did Monogatami. Okay. And I like to teach these holds together, Monogatami and Yoko Shihokutami, side full corner hold, because they really kind of blend into they really kind of one. It's a natural lead-in. So, good side control, okay? And remember when you're doing side control, key thing here is, to, like I said, control ahead. And I want to make sure that my arm goes over his shoulder and under the neck and control there. All right? Now, some people like to grab the lapel. I've always found in the gi to grab inside here the armpit, and it's a nice grip for this. For a Yoko Shihokutami grip, that's good. If no gi, you can grab inside the armpit here. Some people will grab under here. Whatever works for you, okay? But I like to control as far as shoulder as much as I possibly can. And also, when I'm doing this, whether it's in a Monogatami chest hold or Yoko Shiho, the side hold, I like to kind of cinch the arm in here tighter this way, so I can kind of pull him in. So if I can start stretching him a little bit, okay? And this helps. So if I get here and I just hold him here like this, and I can keep this in. So my elbow is constantly pulling in, pulling his head into my shoulder. Now, you can also create some, you know, rather bad moments for him here by putting your shoulder in the side of his head and then, you know, squeeze his head like a nut. And that's good. It makes him, you know, make him think about stuff like this instead of trying to get out, okay? So if he's thinking about, oh God, I'm really uncomfortable and this kind of hurts, that's what we want him to think, okay? So there we go there. All right, now from his hand, I've got this, and really what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach through. I'm going to show you a couple ways to do it. The standard way is reach through the middle, okay, like this, and grab. You can grab the apron of his gi, grab his pants. If you can grab all the way up on his belt, you know, that's good for you. But just grab the apron of the gi there, and I've got him here, and this is a good standard Yoko Shihokutami. Okay, you can grab his pants, that's fine too, okay? Some people grab the ankle, okay, whatever. But here's a good, and this is the basic, very low, and I can flatten out on him, you know, like this, sit through this way. You see a lot of variations, but the basic way, knees are wide, hips are low, and holding here like this, and just hold them for time. You know, and another thing I like to do, because some guys try to slip their hand under your neck to choke you. I like to have my face looking at him like this. I like to put my chin pretty much on his pectoral area or ribs, and just hold him like this and look at him. And and that way, if he starts moving his hand, he starts putting it in the face, the referee's going to say, don't do that, and it keeps it there. Kind of nullifies that hand, okay? Now, this grip is good, or like this, and whatever, we grab hands. You can also grab over and grab your own belt on the near leg. So if I can, instead of reaching this way like this, I can reach over, hook his leg, and grab my own belt, my pants, whatever. But if I can grab my own belt, it's another handle that I've got. It's a surefire handle there that gains more control, and I can hold it this way. And this is a variation of it, but it works. And go move around a little bit. I can stay with it and just keep doing that. Okay, or I can grab inside my own thigh when I'm doing this like this. Grab my own pants. I'll be grabbing actually my pants down here. So you can grab like that and just ride them down. Just keep riding. I may have to shift my hands back, shift them forward, whatever I need to do to keep them down. I may even just put my hand here and keep them down so I can control his hips. If he turns in too much, I'll shift back, I'll push his hips down, put my hand there. See, I'm manipulating with this hand. This is my locking hand, and this is my steering hand. Okay, it's kind of the way I've always looked at this on Yoko Shihogatami. So if I've got this here, I'm going to grab his apron, start that, move around. If he's swirling into free, starting to get away, put your hand down here, push him back, put it down here, shift again, regrip. So you can use this hand to keep manipulating and controlling. This one locks him in place, keeps him there. This one down there. I like to put most of the weight, even when I'm doing side four corner, Yoko Shihogatami, up here in the upper quadrant. Okay, put a lot of pressure on the rib, and as Sandy was saying earlier, every time he breathes in, he breathes out, push tighter, start sucking air out of him like a boa constrictor, okay? And try to take as much air out of him as you can. But I like to stay up here, holding you like this, and just controlling the hips like this. Now, right, this, fine, just keep working, okay? And I may shift back here and get down. I like this. It really works well. You're taking a whole appendage from me. You're stealing his near hip, and it keeps him from turning into you. It really does. So that's Yoko Shihogatami. And again, I like to teach that with Munigatami. They blend in together. And feel free to use them both together. And then keep them there for time. Like in sambo, we hold for 20 seconds. Referee says go for the submission. You do it. Same in freestyle judo. I know now in the IGF rules, I'll hold it for 20 seconds, and I get the ippon. Back when we were competing, it was 30 seconds. And that's a long time to hold a guy down. So you better have your good looks. Osaekomi. This is the Osaekomi Waza. Osaekomi means to pin or to immobilize. And the Osaekomi means to apply the pin. And Waza means technique. So you're applying a pinning technique is what this means, Osaekomi Waza. And Munigatami, in this particular case, we're doing Yoko Shihogatami. Side four corner hold. Okay? Let's finish up with that.